Being Real with Olivia. My name is Olivia Olinger and I love movies and shows. I just got done watching the new Wicked movie and loved it. It was so fun and the music was great. I have a lot to say about this movie, so let's get started. I haven't seen the Broadway play or read the books, so I don't really know much of anything going into this movie. All I knew was some of the songs. Elphaba is played by Cynthia Evero or something. I don't know how to say her last name. And of course, Glinda is played by Ariana Grande. Their vocals were fantastic. Both of them. I mean, I've never seen Cynthia in any other movies before. I don't know if she's kind of newer and hasn't done much, or I just haven't seen anything with her in it, but her voice was great. And then of course, we all know Ariana Grande's vocals are just fantastic. Now, I was super excited going into this movie, and I had really high expectations for it. I don't really know why. I just thought it looked really cool. Even though it was almost 3 hours, it was 2 hours and 40 minutes plus trailers and stuff. So I was kind of nervous because I can't really sit still through those longer movies. But it honestly moved so quickly. It was fun, it was colorful, it was a musical, so I'm sure some of that made it seem to go a little quicker because it was constant action. They were dancing and singing at one point, or at another moment they'd be fighting. It was a really awesome movie though. When this said to be continued, I was so mad. I need another part dropped by tomorrow. I need to know what happens next. In the advertisements for this movie, they don't really mention that it's only a part 1, but it is only a part 1 if you didn't know that. And I already knew that going into it, but I thought that they'd at least tie some things up. They didn't tie anything up. It just completely left everything open. Now, I have seen Wizard of Oz, but I've seen it 2 times when I was really little, so I don't really remember it. But if you've seen it, remember it, obviously the Wicked Witch dies, and that's what this movie starts out with. The Munchkins and everybody's celebrating because the Wicked Witch is dead. And then Glinda floats down and is yup, it is confirmed, she's dead. And then one of the Munchkins was wait, didn't you and the witch used to be friends? So then Glinda told them the story of their history. After watching this movie, I want to see the original Broadway play so badly now. I know the books are really dark and they're kind of more adult, so I don't really have a ton of interest in reading those, but I've heard the Broadway play was fantastic. When Glinda and Elphaba were in the Emerald City in this movie, the 2 original Elphaba and Glindas from the Broadway play came out. So it was really cool how it was tied to that and they had the original actresses come out. Another reason why I think this movie moved very fast was because the characters were phenomenal. Cynthia and Ariana did an amazing job acting and performing. I forgot that Ariana Grande acted in a few shows, for Nickelodeon, back before she became a super big singer. I know she was in the show Sam and Cat and Victorious, and I'm sure she was in more, but those are the only 2 I can remember right now. She was so likable in this movie though. She was funny, she was kind of a spoiled brat. And of course, her and Elphaba had some beef at first, but then they became friends. She was hilarious though. And Cynthia did a great job too as Elphaba. I had no idea what she'd be as an actress just because I've never seen her in anything before, but she was amazing. Her character was super likable and she did a great job at acting like Elphaba. I felt Ariana Grande's vocals were way better and her singing was better than Cynthia's, but Cynthia did a better job at acting. It really felt like she was a part of the character and I thought that was really cool to watch. I highly recommend this movie. Even if you're not one of those people that sitting through long 2-3 hour movies, I still think you should definitely see it. Whether it's in theaters or you just wait till it comes out on streaming. There's just never a dull moment, and I didn't know this if they do this in the play, but they got a whole side plot going on with the animals, which I thought was really cool. I thought the story would just be about Glinda and Elphaba, but they got some other stuff in there that adds to the interests. Cause it would have been kind of boring if it was just about Elphaba and Glinda and some of the Emerald City stuff. But they definitely keep you entertained with a ton going on. And the scenery was beautiful. There was a soft glow to the movie almost. And they definitely played on the pinks and greens. Glinda's room was super pink and everything that she was around was pink, and then Elphaba kind of had a green hue to her. The contrasting was really good. At first I was really concerned how they were going to manage to make a 2-hour movie out of 2 parts. Is there only 2 parts or 3 parts? I can't remember. If it's 3 parts, holy cow, that is a lot. Now I can see how they're gonna make more like parts out of this movie because this first act left you on a cliffhanger. And at the end, they revealed a ton. They were like, oh, and this person's da-da-da, and this is blah blah blah. Like, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but they definitely left you like, whoa, that was a lot of revelations, and yep, the movie's just over now. But they did it to keep you wanting more so that you'd be more excited for the next parts because you're like, well, wait, now I need to see what happens next. And this movie did a very good job of keeping things intense and keeping you watching. I don't think there was ever like a single boring scene in that movie. I mean, maybe some of the stuff at the beginning when Ariana Grande was like talking to the Munchkins and she was like telling them the story of how she met Elphaba, but other than that, I mean, I thought the movie was really fun. This is definitely up on like movies I really enjoy and like some of my favorites. Definitely not my top 3 or top 5. I think I said yesterday when I got out of the theater, I was like, oh my gosh, Wicked's like my 3rd favorite movie. Yeah, I take that back. It's definitely very high up there though. If it was only one movie like this one and they like tied everything together and ended it, then it would be like up there like top 5. But since they're creating more acts and parts out of it, like, yeah, I draw the line there. It's just one of those movies that you can have on in the background while you're like eating, hanging out with friends, doing homework, studying. It's just one of those movies. It brings you in a good mood. There's music you can sing along to. You kind of know the plot. It's not super complex. You can kind of like tune out, but still know what's going on at the same time. It was just very simple, dramatic, but fun. It was just a really good movie for being newer. I mean, some of these newer movies just haven't been anything great. Moana 2, I'm really excited for. Gladiator 2 I saw, which I'll have a review out on that, was amazing. I really loved it, and I haven't even seen the first one. But other than those movies, I can't think of like a newer movie that came out that I really loved. I mean, Wild Robot was really good. I liked that one. But other than that, I mean, this year, like, movies just haven't been, like, great anymore. They've been really basic compared to some of the classics, or even just stuff that came out, like, 3 years ago. So it was really nice and refreshing to get a great movie like Wicked again that was really entertaining. It was like, wow. Now, out of all the movies this year, this is by far the best. And they had like a big marketing thing going on for it. It was one of those movies that people are like actually excited to see now. So definitely check Wicked out. Had a lot of nostalgic vibes to it, and it just felt like you were watching something worth your time. And it's got great music in it. It has a fun song, the You Will Be Popular one, that's catchy and stays in your mind pretty much all day. And then it has a dramatic like Let It Go song, Defying Gravity. It's basically a whole package. You got great music, great visuals, amazing actresses, a fun storyline and plot. I mean, saying all that makes me want to go see it again. So those are my thoughts on the new Wicked movie without spoilers. I mean, I tried not to like say too much without giving anything away, which I think is one of the first videos I managed to actually do that without accidentally recapping like the whole movie. I'll be doing my Gladiator 2 review next, so make sure to stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and go see this movie, or at least wait until it comes out on streaming. You will enjoy it. Please feel free to tell me in the comments if you've seen this movie and what you think of it, or if you are going to see it and what are your thoughts so far. I'd love to see them. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more movie reviews or the final episode of Arcane. But thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you around.